Welcome back to game number 2 of this 3-game series. It's Sun Gaming versus King Gaming. For Sun Gaming, we're starting out mid-draft here. Have position 5 Sand King, position 5 Ancient Apparition. Sand King will be position 4, most likely, possibly position 3. Tiny, position 1. For King Gaming, my personal favorite position 4 will be the Clockwork. Position 5 Bane, and a Vengeful Spirit Core. Vengeful Spirit Core has been growing on me within the past few days. Previously, I did not like it at all, just because the ultimate isn't really offensive at all, and can put you in some tight spots as a position 1 carry. But she just hits so darn hard, starting from like the minute 1 of the game and just going forward, ends up hitting for 200 damage at the like 15-minute mark or something stupid. So Darkseer pairs very well with the Sand King. Lets Tiny chase people down. I can dig it. Most procasters would tell you that Darkseer has been nerfed several patches in a row and is not a good, viable offlaner in this patch, but that's not me. I like him. Once his vacuum is leveled up quite a bit, he'll be able to take Clockwork out of his cogs, so that's pretty nice. Bet $50 on greater than 52.5 kills. I could see that happening. Then again, I could also see a 22-minute game coming in with one team just pub stomping the other. Okay, so Medusa most likely will be going mid for King Gaming. They'll be looking to draft an offlaner here. Omni Knight already banned. Panda, Night Stalker all banned. So viable offlaners are for King Gaming are what? Beastmaster still in the pool. Puck's already been banned. So I guess Beastmaster is definitely what King Gaming are crossing their fingers hoping to get. Pugna is a potential offlaner, but I don't really like him against the Tiny and Sand King AA. Tide Hunter also pretty good, and I guess Sun Gaming thinking the exact same thing, banning out the Tide Hunter. Called that one. Now for King Gaming, they're going to be banning out mid laners that do well against Medusa. I'm thinking OD would be on top of that list. Yeah, I don't see AM. Okay, so they're saying they think Tiny's going to go mid and just AM's. Well, Tiny could potentially go mid, and they just want to ban out their really hard counter in AM. That makes sense. How often do I go live? Well, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be at my house or at my parents' house for Thanksgiving. So from tomorrow on, and I guess tomorrow is today. So about 8 hours from now, I plan on being in a different city for a good 4 to 5 days. But beyond that, I've been streaming for, I don't know, 40 to 50 hours every week. And really, it's just been at random times whenever I felt like it. Yeah. Like, I try and get hyped for the team fights and keep rolling on, but saying all the spells out loud when all those colors are flashing out. I just try and keep it mellow and keep the cast rolling. I do appreciate all compliments. Necro, huh? I like it. Personally, I'm just a big Necro fan. If you look at my profile, he is my second most played hero. So, and this is actually a pretty good Necro game. Both Centaur and Medusa are those high HP carries that you really want to see Necro against. As the atrophy aura is just that much more value. The percent damage over time being reduced. Also a good mid laner. It's really obnoxious to deal with the Medusa snakes when you're playing Necro, though. But should be able to secure farm pretty easy and not feed anything. So Sun Gaming hanging out by themselves at the beginning of the game, holding hands, singing Kumbaya. Smoke coming out. King Gaming doing something just a little bit different, deciding they want to split up. Clockwork hanging out on the high ground. Medusa may end up following her buddy here in a little bit. On shell used on the Sand King makes a lot of sense. Oh, Bane's gonna get shit on here. Yep. Stun comes in. AA. Damage with burst coming in from Tiny. Bane goes down. What is going on there? So Clockwork. Okay, so KG not willing to give up this top rune. They have the high ground after all. And I've seen Star Wars. I know how that ends. Sun Gaming as well. Don't want to press their luck. Frost KS. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, so it looks like Tiny's going to be on the bottom lane here for the Sun Gaming side. In mid, we will be having Necrophos against Medusa and Bane. Okay, so the last game that I casted, Bane went Enfeeble first, and it was just absolutely brutal to watch. Had a Medusa that basically had 5 last hits within the first 2.5 to 3 minutes of the game. It was disgusting. I'm glad to see the Bane was not being that evil today, but he does make a rotation here to the top. We'll try and get some harassment onto the Dark Seer. And in the bot lane, Clockwork, B.A. Bianca, thank you for the follow. Clockwork getting a few cogs in there. James Hood 69, thank you for the follow. Like, when I set up that sound, I never anticipated that happening so often in a draft. Bunch of random numbers. Thank you very much. Definitely may have to consider changing the sound of my follower, as I can see how that would get annoying going forward. But Tiny, top of the last hit leaderboard, as well as Darkseer, so Sun Gaming, definitely doing well in their lanes. In the meantime, Medusa holding her own versus Necro, and Necro actually bleeding health, as he hasn't gotten quite enough last hits and denies in order to regen. But he should be fine. Clockwork, on the other hand, was not fine, as he got picked off by the Sand King. Sand King will be making a rotation here. Bat T KQer. Thank you very much. And Riff Aldi something. Thank you. Um, yeah, so other than the Clockwork feeding around here in the bot lane, I don't think there's going to be much kill potential in any other lane. And for the life of me, I don't know what Clockwork is doing. He's just trying to hit the Sand King with random ass cogs, not really doing anything other. Yeah, so Clockwork could definitely be doing something better with his time, possibly burning down the Necro's mana, but instead chooses to try and steal a last hit from Sand King. Okay, so good last hit coming in there. Me, Joshin, thank you very much. AA will get just a little bit of body blocks in on the creeps and get a successful pull. Sand King rotating in onto the top lane. Or excuse me, mid lane. But he's not going to get anything done there. Darkseer doing a good job of just farming up a jungle camp. Not really wanting to contest the Vengeful Spirit in his lane. Understandable, but I think he's certainly strong enough to do so. Maybe waiting for a double level and surge before hanging out in the top. Possibly worried about getting double teamed by the Bane. Smoke coming in, but Darkseer doesn't put any spells onto the Sand King. So, not sure whether I approve of that play. Darkseer being a little bit greedy with his mana, I think. Invisoring on the Sand King. And there we go. With the Ion Shell, could very possibly get a kill onto the Medusa. Or maybe just be obnoxious and stand next to Medusa with the Ion Shell on it. And if she was paying attention, she did see the Ion Shell come out onto the creeps. Okay, so Sand King on the chase. Has boots. And now we'll just start right-clicking down the Bane here. Will the nuke be able to come in? Yes, it will. No stun available, though. And Bane just able to TP in the face of Sun Gaming. Clockwork too slow. Darkseer says, see ya. Ends up using a shrine and will just continue farming the jungle. Working on mana boots, already has Soul Ring. Ping's coming out here in the top lane. Clockwork may be able to catch out the first person of the game, and denied. So, I swear to God, he is my favorite roaming 4 position, but this Clockwork has managed to set a bad precedent for all Clockworks before and after him. Bane hanging out, does have Nightmare available. Incoming stun coming in from Sand King. Swap first. Good amount of right click damage coming in. Sand King will be able to waddle away though. Still level 2 though. So not necessarily having the best time compared to Clockwork, who has been level 3. So although it hasn't looked pretty, Clockwork has been able to get quite a few bounty runes and just secured himself a few more levels than the Sand King, so he may end up doing just a little bit better coming into the mid game. Necro going double null build, and Medusa going phase boots, Ring of Aquila. Sand King, no detection on either of the Keen Gaming heroes in the top lane, so he will just be able to Sandstorm and get some levels. Power Treads and Ring of Aquila already on the Vengeful Spirit, so pretty much free farm in the top lane. So we'll end up switching to the net worth at the 7-minute mark. It seems good enough. Oh, what's going on here in the bot lane? Centaur slowed down, and Vengeful Spirit wanting more, trying to isolate the Tiny here. AA says, no, 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 you should hit me. And may end up paying for it with her life. Venge diving a tier 1 tower, but will think better of it and backs up. So well played by the AA, probably saved the Tiny's life by baiting himself out. And Tiny being a bro, helping out the support. Centaur possibly looking to, does have 3 levels in double edge. Tiny does have to watch out when he is such low HP. So Darkseer has 200 gold towards this next item. You see a lot of Guardian Greaves coming out from Darkseers. You see a lot of Blink Daggers. And even occasionally... okay, so he's going Guardian Greaves. But occasionally you do see Darkseers go for the Helm of the Dominator and put Ion Shells on the creeps. Centaur ult will be able to isolate Tiny, and he does end up going down here in the bot lane. And it has actually been a relatively peaceful start to this game, 3-1. And whoever had, who was betting in chat for 50 kills by the 30-minute mark or whatever, you must not be liking this relatively peaceful early game. And with that draft, or with the draft coming in from Keen Gaming, I don't think you're going to see very many aggressive moves coming out from them. Medusa will just want to stand next to a tower in order to farm. Tiny will look to try and get a kill onto the Vengeful Spirit with Toss and Stun coming in. Will be able to get that kill. Ooh, the Vengeful Spirit. That new ability will be able to bring her down. Necro will just use his ultimate more for the stun than for anything else. Follow-up coming in from Tiny, but the last hit is given to Necro, and he will be able to regen 6 Death Pulse stacks from that. Yeah, Darkseer has to watch himself here. Medusa can certainly burst him down with a level 4 snake, which I'm sure it's level 4 at this point. Tiny going very standard. Aquila power treads into Blink Dagger. Makes a whole lot of sense there. Sand King going straight into Blink Dagger. Also very understandable. You see some Sand Kings go for Urn, some go for Drums, but just rushing the Blink makes... I like it. You really want to be able to serve us that initiator, as Necrophos hasn't gone anything like Force Staff as his first item. But he does have that queued up, so should see whether Necro goes Force or Veil first. Sand King may actually get caught out here by the Bane. Bane is level 6. Ultimate is used by Centaur, trying to isolate the Tiny here at the bot tower. And despite 3 on the bot lane for King Gaming, they are not able to get any kills. Venge very close to getting her Mask of Madness. Will help her farm up here in the mid game. Vengeful Spirit doesn't really have a AoE or cleave ability that helps her farm through creeps other than just mad right click single target, so that Mask of Madness will help her transition into the mid game. Most likely we'll go for like Sanjin Yasha or Dragon Lance after that. Tiny getting ballsy here. He knows 3 King Gaming are here. Bane ult coming in, thinks better of it. Sand King, good stun. Toss combination coming in. And yeah, Bane wastes his ult and then follows it up with a feed. In the meantime, Darkseer using his free lane given to him in order to secure the secure tower. Clockwork level 6. The trap was set, and that's exactly the interaction I was talking about in the draft. The vacuum actually very good against the Clockwork, able to remove him from the cogs. Ultimate coming in, both from Sand King and Centaur. Centaur ends up getting the worst of that, or the bad end of that trade. Okay. Medusa coming in. Swap will be able to secure a kill onto Sand King. And it's a 2-for-2 trade. Centaur going down, so it's probably Sun Gaming advantage. I take that back. 600 extra gold going into King Gaming as they're looking for more. Tiny will be able to be isolated by both Medusa and Vengeful Spirit. And yeah, so roughly 1,400 gold swing between the two team fights there. Very well played. Clockwork Hook was able to go onto the Sand King. He's able to stun out of danger. Darkseer possibly looking for more. Not sure what he's thinking about doing, but okay, follow-up stun coming in from Sand King. Mech is available. Oh, neutral creep deny coming in from Clockwork. Very well played there. Sand King, yeah, probably not wise to stand next to Medusa, who does have split shot when you only have less than 20 HP. So 100% feed coming in from Sand King there. Clockwork actually did get pick off to a good play coming in from the Darkseer. Ultimate is available in 16 seconds for the Necrophos, but Vengeful Spirit will end up going down. Nightmare will be able to slow up the Tiny. Ultimate used onto Necro. We'll be able to delay this as much as possible. Oh my god, will he be able to get out? That's close. Flare won't be able to burst him down either. And no good deed goes unpunished as Darkseer able to help out his buddy Necro, but ends up paying for it with his life. Ultimate used by the Necro, but that's not going to be able to get a kill. Tiny not willing to go in to finish the Bane off. And Sun Gaming kind of falling apart here in the, I'm going to call it early game. But they definitely won multiple lanes just through farming efficiency of Necro and the OD. Or Darkseer. Don't know why I said OD there. But King Gaming definitely able to come back with a few key team fight victories. And they do have the later scaling lineup by far with Medusa. And Centaur, once he gets Aghanim Scepter, possibly have a Refresher Shard from Roshan. Centaur is pretty darn good in the late game. And I absolutely think you see more Centaurs nowadays just because of free Refresher Shards coming in from Roche. And just the temptation of getting two Aghanim Scepter Centaur ultis back to back is... Ooh, and it looks like Necro will... Yeah, he's just dead. 4 people go in on King Gaming. Tiny trying to get a return kill, but Keen not really feeling it. They're saying... Tiny, what are you doing? Tiny, get back. Tiny, what are you doing? Oh my god, that's a second neutral creep deny coming in from the Clockwork. He's just playing very, very well for King Gaming. So Dragonlance picked up by the Medusa. We'll be finishing off the Hurricane Pike, bringing it to her almost immediately. 4 staffs, always a very good item, both on the team with Clockwork and against it. Obviously, Necro did not make that a high priority, but he will be getting that within the next 300 gold. Wouldn't be surprised if AA, yeah, AA is working on 4 staff next. The more 4 staffs against Clockwork, the better. Wouldn't even mind to see Darkseer go for 4 staff instead of Blink Dagger this game. Smoke rotation coming in from Sun Gaming. Does plant a ward, but hook coming in from the Clockwork. Okay, AA getting a little bit greedy, casting his ultimate there. Ends up paying the price for it. And KG will use his space created in order to take Roche. Has a little bit of negative armor coming in from the Wave of Terror. And that should be that. Sand King isolated here, but Tiny able to bring down the Bane before the team fight starts. Good stun coming in onto the Sand King from the Vengeful Spirit. Necro has been isolated here, does have a few spells available. Able to bring down the Clockwork, no neutral creep deny, at least this fight. AA Blast coming in. Will clip the Vengeful Spirit, but no kill so far. 3 for 2 exchange. Tiny falling down for the Sun Gaming side. Keen losing multiple heroes. And roughly 400 extra gold does go to the Sun Gaming side. Four staff has been completed by Necro. 1,000 gold towards that Radiance. I'd say that's a fairly solid build-up coming in from Necro. Occasionally you do see Hooded Defiance before the Radiance, but there isn't an incredible amount of magic burst damage coming in from Keen, so it makes a lot of sense just to skip that. Medusa taking some stacks. Bane trying to get level 10 by soaking some XP. And Medusa just trying to get as tanky as possible with the Iascati. Actually surprised she's not going for Lincoln Sphere here. It's super value against both Necro and the Sand King. But she may be thinking that there's going to be like 4 or 5 4 staffs on Sun Gaming side. And they can just use the 4 staff in order to break the Lincoln Sphere. And therefore just try and get tanky with the Iascati. I have to think that's what the Medusa's thinking. There's no way she's forgetting about the possibility of buying Lincolns here. It's a active decision to ignore it due to the amount of 4 staffs coming in. Oh my god! Just burst damage coming in, not only from the vacuum wall coming in from Darkseer, but comboing that into the tiny burst damage as well as AA brings down. Yeah, so Tiny gets 18k damage, 1200 damage coming in from the Darkseer, and AA actually finishes off just a little bit with this ultimate. Woo! I'm just disappointed I didn't get to see the setup for that, but was able to catch the coup de grace. Necro on the chase. Epicenter coming in. AA Blast will be able to eventually take down the Medusa. There we go. And King Gaming actually falling apart here. Sand King looking for more. Bane trying to get away. But Blink Dagger on the Tiny will be able to net them what feels like 6 kills in a row. Multiple team fights being won by Sun Gaming using their Blink Daggers to full effect. Sand King, Tiny, and where's Darkseer? Darkseer. 3 folks on Sun Gaming all have Blink Daggers, and just using that mobility to catch several heroes out of position and win at crucial team fights. And hopefully King Gaming has learned their lesson and will continuously have at least 3 or 4 heroes grouped together and maybe have one person split pushing, but just be really, really cautious about it and be aware of the minimap. And if you look at the ward vision coming in from Keen Gaming. They have just one ward here, but other than that, they can't really spot any rotations coming in from Sun Gaming at all. And that's probably a key factor in why they've been caught out so many times within the past few minutes. Possible smoke coming out? Nope. So just Sun Gaming hanging out, grouping up as 4. Which is great as long as you're getting kills on Sun. But Medusa will be able to outlast hit and outfarm you. Already 4k net worth over the nearest Sun Gaming rival. Sand King did catch out the Medusa. Not sure whether he wants to blink in and make an initiation out of it. Thinks better of it. Okay. Probably don't want to initiate onto the Medusa when there are 4 Keen Gaming heroes right behind him. Darkseer is doing his best to try and split push here on the top lane. King backing up. Oh, so Sun did catch the Bane. Put a ward there. Should be de-ward relatively quickly. Necro pretty darn close from getting his Radiance. And that's one solution to Medusa out-farming you. Just get items that help you out-farm her. Radiance into Vacuum Wall into Tiny Stun. Good hook coming in from Clockwork. Able to mini-stun the Sand King there. Tiny isolating the Vengeful Spirit again. Looks like she will be falling. Tiny does get the last hit there. Necro. Ultimate is used onto the Medusa. Ooh! Actually doesn't hurt him that much. I think the Nightmare ends up blocking most of that damage. Good plays coming in by the Bane. Double Edge destroys the Sand King there. A Blast. Oh, good Hurricane Pike in order to avoid that. Ion Shell will try and take down the Medusa. She does end up going down. Centaur dies. So, Sun Gaming doing very well here. 5-man team wipe. 3,700 gold exchange. And with that, Necro will be able to secure his Radiance. Does have the recipe coming out to him on the courier. And he should be scaling very well into the late game with that huge item pickup. Darkseer is working on that 4 staff. Just the more the merrier when it comes to dealing with the Clockwork. You never know who's going to be isolated and where everybody's at. But Medusa, very close to that Eye of Scotty. So, already level 20 with the plus 800 mana talent, making her super tanky already. And once that Eye of Scotty is completed, it will be very difficult in order to bring her down. Thank you for the follow. Sheena, Machina, something like that. Sorry to butcher your name. So this Tiny also going for Assault Cuirass directly after Echo Saber. Maybe I'm just completely wrong about the Shadow Blade being the correct build-up. I'll have to reevaluate that stance going forward. But I do think the Assault Cuirass fits this lineup a lot better than the previous Tiny lineup, as there is a whole lot of right-click damage coming in both from Vengeful Spirit and Medusa this game, and negative armor coming in from the Vengeful Spirit. So Assault Cuirass, pretty darn good pickup, and Flare just immediately pings out the Roshan attempt coming in from Sun. Well played by the Clockwork. And Sun will just hang out next to this Roshan pit, not really willing to go in themselves, but I assume once Medusa shows bottom lane, they'll end up trying to take it. Like, just with that, they should realize that Medusa isn't going to be farming the bot lane alone, and Sun Gaming should be willing to, I think, to give up this tier 2 tower for Roshan. But you never know. We'll see what the call is. Flare does come in. And Sun Gaming doing the absolute worst thing, I think. With Tiny trying to split push top. I think Sun should either make a 5-man rotation here bot and stop this push from happening. Or they should just go take Roche. But this being split around isn't really working out for him. But Keen decide better of it, not wanting to push press their luck against the tier 2 tower. Fair enough. Now it's King Gaming, pretty close to the Roshan pit, but don't think they... What's this Centaur doing? Just hanging out here? Has a TP scroll, but doesn't want to use it? Oh, he wants to cut the next creep wave. So he's going to blink, cut the next creep wave, and then... Maybe. Never mind. Maybe the creep wave after that. But definitely he's looking to kill one creep wave, then TP out. Just not sure exactly when he's planning on doing that. Epicenter being channeled. Force staff into Blink Dagger. He's miles away from his team. Okay, so good Blink vacuum wall, kind of. It hits onto 2. Bane ult being used. Oh, good swap coming out. Or actually bad swap coming out. But Sand King does eventually go down regardless. Necrophos able to bring down the Venge there. Good use of her ult. And now it's trying to chase down Medusa. Burning her down with the Radiance. Probably a good call by Medusa just to turn around and fight. She's not going to be able to run away, I think, from the combination of both Tiny and Necro. Vacuum onto 3. Clockwork able to isolate. The Darkseer does have Force Staff able to get himself away from the fight. Medusa ends up going down to the right clicks and the burst damage coming in from Necro. And it is a 5-man team wipe. 5-for-1 exchange coming in from Sun Gaming. Very well played. 12k net worth lead. 2,500 just from that team fight. And it looks like they're going for tier 3s. Glyph used up by King Gaming. To no avail. Sun will get their first tier 3 of the game. Most likely will turn this into either Shrine, Roche, or Shrine and Roche. All depends on what they're wanting to do. First, they will take out the Shrine. Not sure whether they're going to want to get aggressive enough to go take on the Roche. Okay, tier 2. And it looks like they've just taken complete map control here. 18 net worth lead already. Lotus Orb picked up by the Necro. So extra value armor coming in from him will be able to, I guess, reflect Vengeful Spirit stuns coming in. Diamond Ode 222, thank you very much for the follow. So Lotus Orb just makes a Necro that much more tanky. I like it. Aghanim Scepter next just to complete the Cancer build. Coming in from Necro. Very much approve. Oh, ult coming in, able to isolate out the Sand King. Ends up going down. Wow, that burst damage coming in from Tiny just obliterates Vengeful Spirit. And that's a core Venge Spirit too. Glimmer Cape able to mitigate a lot of that damage coming in from the Necro ult, but Clockwork does end up falling. Shrine is used. Medusa trying to hold her ground. Tiny may end up dying here, as Medusa is putting in massive right clicks. Epicenter comes in onto the entire sun. Wow, so that Epicenter just destroyed Keen Gaming there. Opa, thank you for the follow, but yeah, that burst damage coming in from the Sand King probably means they're going to be able to take the tier 4 towers and possibly game. So, and yeah, it looks like Sun Gaming may just end this. Okay, so Sun Gaming wins both games, and that's the end of the series. Sun Gaming winning 2 of the 3-game series. I'll give you guys a scoreboard, and you can see the Necro actually not doing the most damage. Tiny with the burst combinations ending up racking up the most damage. Medusa trying her best at 28k, but yeah, just the Vengeful Spirit core not doing her part means that King Gaming ends up losing that. Thank you all for watching. Not sure whether I